It just shows me they got a lot more careful and they're hiding a lot better. So if it's not wide open, we're good.
Last question.
Yes, sir.
What, in your opinion, can we do as a community to assist what you guys are doing, what you all are doing?
Just keep feeding me the information I need. I can't be all over, everywhere, all over in town. I know there's a lot of people that contact me and they're dealing in my neighborhood, this and that. And that information is helpful. And license plate, stuff like that, a lot of people are feeding to me. And that helps me out to be able to come work in that area and stuff like that without having to waste time just running around looking for something.
So you guys are okay if someone, say if I see someone, because I've done it,
Yeah.
if I see someone that I think may be suspect, I think you all will agree we need to own our communities and pick up the phone and say, hey, listen, I see someone.
Gives us a better lead.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
We all need help. I mean, we can't be all over all the time.
Yeah.
And to say that everybody's doing their job 100%, I'm
Sure.
tell you no.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't lie, I tell you no. So,
Everybody's in the community, or
say that. I'm gonna say the community. If you say everybody's doing their job, their police job 100%, I'm gonna say no. Okay? But what we need to do is make sure that I'm aware of it. Because I get some that tell me, oh, well, I left word at the police station. I never got it. I have some that say, I left word with so-and-so, and I never got it. So if it doesn't reach me, I can't get it. The Facebook page, it's strictly, you can send me an anonymous message. I have a number on there, an office number. You can leave me a voicemail. You don't have to leave your name. I've got cell number. You don't have to tell me who you want. I don't care who you want.
so anonymous call-ins do work.
Oh, yeah.
You tip along.
Quite a few.
They
Quite a
don't
few
get
of
me.
them have come from that. This last bus on Frank Cash Street, okay, that's what that come from. That come from a couple of people that kept calling me a few days in a row and actually called me that morning and let me know, hey, got it today.
I think that's the best, one of the best approaches is every member of their community owning their community, being accountable for what goes through their community, and just picking up the phone, as you said, and say, hey, you guys, I see something. You know, I see something next to my neighbors, and I've done it, and I appreciate what you guys are doing. Absolutely, thank you.
No further questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Dale. Okay, our next item, sewer department. Amended budget, utility fund to reflect repairs needed to rebuild of wallflower submersible pumps. Number one, plant pump, equals aerator pump handling amount of $10,917.21.
I've been getting a few phone calls and that, and people have been telling me that they've been getting back up in that area. They're having trouble because they felt for a while, I'm sure it's here everywhere that's came from years back. I'm gonna make a motion that we amend this budget to $10,000 like that, to repair the problem.
I'm sorry, Mayor, we're trying to get some clarification, where is the revolving fund? Okay.
I have a motion.
So what discussion, he said what happened, why, what's the problem?
Yes, sir. Just broke. It's breaking down.
I'm sorry, you have a motion before, right? No, so we need a second.
We need a second.
I'll second it, since we're going into question and answer.
And the question is, they took it all down, they took it down, they broke it. They thank you, all the buildings. But we've been out of the law with that. Every time you turn it off, I mean, trash it, they like the old time, and it just clogged up with dirt.
Okay, so just
Is that-
again,
is that
question,
correct?
how do we fix that but prior to having to replace it? Is there anything we can do?
This is-
I know, no, well, I know we had told them a few years back, I told
This is this out near Votros?
Right, no,
Whose
It's
district
the
is that?
housing, it's the housing.
Is that
How
yours?
long has this been built, Walpole been built, how many years it's been?
2007, in that area, 2000.
It's not long, it's not long.
Is that near Votros or is that near?
It's the
no,
housing.
Dale
thing.
Drive.
It be
Dale Drive.
Yeah,
That's my
it's the new.
Behind
housing.
Fred's?
Right.
Okay, I'm thinking Votros. Okay, so it's out. Oh, that newer subdivision.
Right,
That's-
right.
Oh, so now there's sewage issues?
The pumps actually need to be rebuilt.
Would that have happened? I'm just asking. Would that happen to have been caused or the flooding contributing to that? Because there's, for whatever reason, strangely enough, that's a new subdivision and it always puzzles me how it floods. It's like it was built in a flood. That's
So it
off the
says
record. That's off the
sewer
record. I was
line
just curious.
repair.
It's not the first
So
time
we
the
don't-
public
No, that's
been
not
built.
it. That's another.
It's all listed under the same thing.
Number one platform, that's actually at the sewer plant.
Okay, so the first one, we're asking to amend the budget for the repairs to Wildflower.
To build a
Area
wall
and
submersible pump on
And then also the number one pump, and the post area pump, all in total, $10,917.
So that is all one item,
Oh, okay, so the total would be 10,000. for
just
both
for
of them.
Wildflower Lane.
Right.
No, for Wildflower and the,
And two things in the sewer. And basically, we rebuild, these are all rebuilt to, replacement, to rebuild
Right.
these three options.
Sewer pumps are a constant problem. You're having to lift the sewer to move it, and you gotta maintain them throughout the town. I understand what's going on over there, and I understand what's there, we need to fix them,
yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, clearly it needs to be fixed. I was just kind of.
And that's what I was just wondering, why, it's just something that just regularly normally, we just have trouble with, it's not something that we can fix.
It's just
So
normal
it's
wear
just
and tear.
something, okay.
Now, we do not have the estimate, cost estimate, I said, I have here, just get to present it to me tonight, for the sewer line main repair on the trunk line, near the sewer plant, we was not able to get that in by the time.
So we can't.
So the amendment for $10,917 you're
That's what
asking
we have
for,
present right now.
that's for the trunk line bottom plant and?
No, 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 we won't have to- we wouldn't be able to get it.
Would you all be able to do what needs to be done if we only
Did the first
approve
one.
well, how about the first? Since it sounds like Wildflower is kind of like a pressing issue that certainly.
And the pump.
Those three things.
Those three things.
Those three things we have listed.
Well, I was asking because we don't have the estimate
That's the second.
for that second part. Could we hold off on that? Okay, then go ahead.
We're gonna have to, that's gonna be a big.
Oh, okay.
And. So everything except for the pump. No estimated cost.
And Mayor, we good with the utility budget? We good with it? Or we think good?
Yeah, that's what we're asking for.
Okay, so you have a motion and a second.
Any more discussion? Discussion, comment? Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. City Bourne. Leave nothing standing.
There's three quotes for demolition of the old city barn. First one is from American Demolition, $19,900. Second is from Demolition Doctor, $24,000. Fourth one from Emery,
That's the third one.
Continue, baby. See, oh, man. Third one, sorry. Emery Sons, $22,850. This is not a public works project, not to take the lowest bid, just disqualifying one, but due diligence purposes, you know, consider the lowest bid. It's not, you want you have to take the lowest bid in this situation. But, you know.
Let me ask you something, all of them are insured,
They all
they're
said,
bonded?
all of them said they were true. First thing you put on there.
And everybody has the same list of, things that they're gonna do, the protocols of what they're gonna do.
Yeah, I would,
Specs are the
let
same on all
me,
three? The specs all the same?
yes. The specs are as follows. Demolish the building.
Demolish the building.
And haul it off?
And haul it off.
I can go demolish the building,
Yeah.
I just can't haul it off.
Can't haul it off.
The demolition doctor also demolished the rice mill located in Crowley, Louisiana. Big
And
demolition.
that was, what was his bid?
It was 24,000. Starts from Lafayette. This is Lafayette. And
This
go
is
ahead.
Crowley.
Crowley.
All American Demolition is, out of Crowley, and he's the 19.9. General liability, $1 million.
Did we have a local, anyone local
This is-
that submitted?
This is Acadia Parish from Crowley.
Anything like the church?
Where's Bill ran from?
Lafayette.
I don't know anything about any of this. On the envelope,
Well, the other side, the hard, you gotta get a copy of their insurance policy.
Yeah,
Make
yeah.
sure it's current, and it covers
Right,
everything.
right.
If they don't have it, but if they say they do, then of course you rescind your vote, vote again, go from there.
did we have a, in the budget, did we have
This is
an
already,
Those-
amount?
Well,
What
no,
was the amount that we had,
wait,
what was the amount that we had in the budget to do it?
30,000.
This is under the budget.
It sounds like all of
These
them.
are not bids, these are not bids, they are proposals. Crystal clear, they are not bids.
What's the difference?
Yes.
Bids fall under Public Works Act, which is totally different than what we're doing here. You have to take lowest bid, you gotta advertise properly, much different. It's not a bid, those are proposals.
Yeah.
RFPs, request proposals, or quotes.
Todd, you spoke to all three of these guys. and,
Could we see him, Todd?
You have a,
you wanna see what it is?
yeah, you spoke to all three of the guys, do you have a preference, I mean, speaking?
They all in there, that's just the envelopes.
I asked for opinion, you know. I asked Mr. Richard, was Mr. Richard.
What's your opinion, Mr. Mijon?
Well, the only one that I know that does a lot of work around the Lafayette area is Pellerin Wallace. They well known for demolition,
I know they,
big
I know they
projects.
good.
Now,
Yeah.
no,
I know they,
Now, what about the Crowley man, company?
Have never worked with him, the one in Crowley.
no, I heard from the courthouse in Crawley, I think we have two from Katy Perry. We have Damon Trohon.
I only saw was one on it.
Gene has the paperwork. Damon Trohon was recommended from Crawley, I went to the courthouse.
What was his bid?
If I can say this, council,
Trump,
Was 90,000.
yeah, he was a little bit, I think,
19,000.
19.9.
The courthouse in Crawley.
If it's up to me, I would like to keep the money, in the parish. You know,
19.9, what was the other
and
two?
you have the purse string. I
Right,
wanna say, if they don't clean it up, well, they don't get their final
right,
payment.
right.
So it's not like billing a city hall or something.
I don't know any of them, but like I said, when I was in the courthouse, someone gave me his card at the courthouse. And I asked him,
And that's what his is 22. So,
Where's that? Who was the 19,000? 19,900?
That's the one in Crowley.
that's
That's
the
Acadia
crowd,
Parish.
yeah.
Let me see that.
Is that the 19,000, Councilman? Is that?
So like the 20,000,
Yeah.
there's like 2,000, well, 3,000 different, some of them are
19,900.
22,850 and 24, so
Wondering if they're gonna fix it.
20.
Yeah, they
One more,
Second.
Any more discussion or question?
I have a question for Councilman. Councilman, does everything look pretty much
Mm-hmm.
on the up and up?
We're giving the same thing, we still have to have, right, that's the one that was done with unions.
I feel that's a pretty good price.
He's got a $1 million general liability. And all the metals and, concrete, asphalt, glass will be recycled.
Yeah, it's
That
exactly.
we do afterwards.
Right.
Yeah, let me take a look at it.
I feel that there's on that building, that's a pretty good estimate. That's a pretty good estimate. I think that should be a pretty big job.
Really, truly, it's not that big of a job. They're gonna come in there with a backhoe and just knock it down. Knock it down, and it just pick up the,
It's the foot,
Yeah.
all the trash on it. How many truckloads, I'm not really sorry, truck,
What's the problem?
Who owns this company? Homer.
Sue has one and Dale has one.
no,
No, I don't have no.
That's a good question that Councilman just asked. Who is the owner? To ensure there's no conflict of interest.
David,
Damon Trumbull?
Damon Trumbull.
And is Mr. Trahan closely related to anyone on the council?
No, not me.
Behind him.
All right, I'm okay with it.
Did you find them all, Todd?
I'm missing Pillar, man. I need a copy of the old, make sure that.
Is anybody, did you have it?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
We had the,
Definition of document.
or is it, something coded?
They might both be in there. Yeah, thank you.
Without-
Just leave the vote on the page.
Any more discussion or question? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Okay, our next item, request for quote results for culverts and road repair at Corporation Street. Okay, this is,
That's the
Yeah,
issue.
that's-
That's that heated issue. I'm gonna talk about with Mr. Gentleman's name.
Same area.
Yeah. Right, up here that the heated topic from
No, that's
last
Liberty
month.
Street.
Okay.
This is
Corporation
Corporation,
at
it
Dale
is
Yes,
Yard.
yes.
The street
Okay.
that got
Okay.
new housing.
You're just requesting quotes, right? I mean, I'm asking, is that what we're doing?
Three of them. First one's from Sal Boys, Warrior Construction, David Cormier, Church Point Company, 11,540. Life insurance certificate is right here.
Does that have something to do with,
this is,
sewage deal with that?
no, this is replacing the culvert that goes underneath Corporation, right next to Marie Street, not far down from Marie Street, but it's on Corporation Street.
Well,
And this
there you go.
goes into the ditch on the opposite side, next to Wildflower, goes next to
Okay,
Wildflower.
so,
We have barricades right there, we're losing
Right.
the street.
We're losing that street.
yeah,
That's Corporation.
What's going on?
there's the flooding and everything.
That's part of it.
It's like, in 20 years, we'll be sitting here and the whole community will be gone.
Well, what it is,
I'm just saying.
what it is, the culvert that's on the end there is separated, and whole water.
Right,
That
right.
area gets a lot of water.
Right, and I'm not, I mean, you guys are doing what needs to be done, but I'm just questioning, why is there so much flooding in a new subdivision?
Actually, the flooding was there before.
Well, yeah, actually, yeah, I said that wrong, it wasn't, the flooding was there. I guess the question would be, why did we put houses on top of it? I don't know.
Tree marks.
Just a question.
Tree mark service, the second, quote, 12,917. They are not replacing the asphalt. And the fourth one, third one. This from Habits Builders. Next, 33,000. So one's not do the asphalt, one is
How many
33,000, the
layers are
other one is Cowboys Board, Church One Company, 11,500. And there's the insurance attached to this report. This one.
We'll need
No
it with this one.
Yep,
Oh, yeah,
it has
absolutely,
to,
yeah,
yep.
there we go.
So from 11,540 to 33,600. Wow. That's not.
Well, we have one, I think it's important to note that we do have one, Cowboys Boring and Construction. It's a Church Point address. So I want to go on record and encourage my fellow members of the council that we try our at best to support our local
Who's the
businesses.
owner?
I'd like
Damien?
David Cormier.
David
I'd like to make
Yeah.
a motion that
Yeah,
we.
he's is the least expensive side, that would be a great opportunity to support.
I'm in that area, it's the ball deck, all of that water coming in the ball deck. And I passed there a lot, and I can check underneath the pavement, and it's really eating it up. And that, before it's over, that road's gonna collapse.
That entire area is, I mean, I was with Mr. Thibodeau there when there was a flood, and we were literally in a boat, putting people in a boat in that area. It's, yeah, that's unbelievable.
Now, the end of the subdivision itself, and
Yes, the water was so much longer.
Well, we couldn't even get to the subdivision, this was the area outside, we couldn't even, it was just too much water. That's interesting. That,
So nice house, but they
yeah, and those houses were less than 10 years old.
Saturday I couldn't come in. I got in, I had, but the water was deep, but I still went in.
Like I said, that subdivision, when it floods, you can't get in and you can't get out. Not unless you got a boat.
Just doesn't make sense to me, but nevertheless.
It's a low area. Like the ball,
It shouldn't,
all the water.
it should never build, houses should never get built.
You have to go all the way to Wyckoff, Ed Thibodeau Road, and you see what they did there, you'll have a better understanding.
Not
There
that
is-
it, not that it
there is no-
doesn't make sense, right?
There is
But
no
I understand.
canal going to Wyckoff,
Right.
it's ditches,
Right.
and it slams into a wall, and it's diverted to the left, going the wrong way.
Again, it would give me more information, but not
Go
necessarily make
in
sense.
and go look at Ed Thibodeau Road, and you'll see where the road is,
You would
the
think,
water is
yeah, you would
diverted.
think contractors would say, these are the issues that we
Please
build
do.
here. Wow. Is anyone, one quick question, oh, I'm sorry, man, did you ask for,
Still discussing.
okay, who's the owner? The one we're looking at?
David Cormier.
Is anyone on the council currently closely related to Mr. Cormier?
I think I know him, but I'm not positive, but I definitely know a relation. He lives in Church Point.
Now, they have David Cormier, but the one I know, it's not,
And that's what I'm wondering, is that
he's
the
not,
Jim's position?
he's a carpenter.
I don't think no one
No.
is in at the time.
No, I mean, no, it's Church Point, but,
I don't.
Oh, okay. No, it's, I mean, bid from Church Point, Church Point Company.
Oh, that's in that illustration?
Yeah,
Okay, I had the wrong David Cormier, but now I know who you're talking about too, yeah. I had the wrong David Cormier in mind, and this, he was older.
We all had a,
Talking about
Who had the motion? Who made the
so
motion?
John made the motion.
John made the,
Yeah.
okay, did you get a second? Who did?
No, they hadn't looked at the mayor.
Do we have a second?
Got a question.
I'll second.
Okay, so you have two bids or two proposals, one set at 11,000, the other one at 33,000. Is the same, that's the same service rendered for both
Yes.
job prices?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
There's 3 bids.
okay.
There's 2 of them, well, you know,
One
2
of them
bids. 11,000, and a few dollars, and the other was 12,000 and a few dollars.
And that's doing the exact same job?
Not the one for 12,000, he eliminated the, asphalt.
The one for 12, go out, the one for 5.
These are bids. Same bids. These are quotes. Okay. Not bids, not bids. Proposals. Yeah, not bids.
Right, any way, shape.
Got it.
Once you invoke the word, once you use the word bid,
There are other,
then you're invoking the public bid laws, which you have to do a lot of different things. You can use all you want right now because the process is already over with. But to explain, that's why I say that. Properly, it's not bid, according to state law. It's a proposal or quote.
Okay, dude. We're voting on Cowboys boring, new construction, on Church Point. I have a motion and a second. Now, we had discussion. All in favor, let's go. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Okay. Next item is legal concerning a resolution. Resolution for the 2018-2019 LCD BG sewer rehab grant.
Rehab grant, right.
All right. All right, in your packet, we have this resolution.
We need more work on the sewage
Emphasize the
department,
word right.
you know, yeah, it's a grant. So, I mean, I have no qualms about, applying for another grant.
Yeah.
Even a lot, that flood we had over the weekend, I tell you what, I banked through a bunch of streets with the manhole, water was just coming.
I had 5 inches on my rain gauge,
About
Saturday afternoon.
We had 7 by my house.
Like 5.5 miles.
Was this, Mayor, I think I got what you have. Would this application, grant application, would that be through you, Mr. Mayor, or is that through?
Mr. Menville,
Richard Menville.
Okay, okay. Gotcha, okay.
what we're doing is adopting a resolution granting the authority to the mayor
Right.
to sign and submit all necessary documents
For-
for this block.
For the grant.
If we don't have a motion, I'm gonna make it. If not, I'll second.
I'll check it.
We have a motion.
I don't know who made the
Who
motion.
made the motion?
Dale made the
I think
motion.
Councilman Duperson said he was willing to make the motion or
Dale
second.
made it.
Dale made it,
Dale,
and
oh,
Gary
okay.
seconded.
I'll check in it on.
Gary said-
Gary checking it with him.
Any questions or discussion? Any comments or discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Okay, next item. Building code inspection reports and recommendations to the council by Mr. Rodney Richard, County Inspector.
Mr. Cooley, are these different than the ones I've already
Yes.
done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just check.
Yes, sir. This is, 7 that Todd gave me a few weeks ago, and hopefully we can get them in a little decent order that we did the last time to try to speed up. a
Mr.
little
Quinn, I
bit.
think this, the whole report that you give is fantastic, so I definitely agree with what you have to say, but
Well,
it's all self-explanatory.
Yes, it is. What I would like to do is give the owners a chance. Do we have anybody from, TAXALE, whatever that is, LLC in-house, to speak on behalf of this home?
Minnick Fallon.
Minnick?
Is that Minnie Allen?
As you see, the house is just completely falling apart. I recommend that it be demoed. It's pretty much, you know, I got renovated or demo, but when you look at the pictures, it costs a fortune to demo
The
this.
seals and the.
Seals are rotten,
Right.
windows, the carport is falling down, just, out of control. So my recommendation is, unless the owners come up with a different story, is to demo it down.
Mr. Richard, you've spoken with the owners?
No, sir, we
You have
have
not?
a certified letter. Have
And
you
they-
heard back from this one?
No,
We have
Nothing?
not.
no, it's, okay, he's gonna appear before the council, the option to appear before the council next month.
Next month, okay.
Yeah, and if he has the option of repairing it, of course, or telling the council, this is how I plan to repair it. If not, then we give him 30 days. If he doesn't do after that, then we can demolish it, take a judgment against the property, tax
Gotcha,
lien,
okay.
which, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's good to get these letters out, but I don't know if the town can afford to spend, well, let me be quiet.
No,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
Well, I don't,
We need
these
to know.
demolitions are very expensive. I mean,
Well,
you get 1.8, 110, 112, 120, next thing you're up to 150, 200,000. If you wanna know why he didn't demolish mine.
So are you saying that in some cases, doing a demolition to a property and then probably assuming a lien might not be worth it, because depending on the value
I
of the
would say
property?
it's not worth it, the town can afford it, by all means do it. But I'm just saying, it costs money to do that, because if you give people the option of fixing it, it probably won't.
So what would be an alternative suggestion to these homeowners if we're trying
Well, some
to?
of them you have to tear down, because they are a threat to the public, falling on top of them, so, you know, town can afford those, so be it. We got a couple of grants, I remember way back when, 10 years ago, for a couple, I don't know if they still offering those, but Richard Menville does every grant. People who think the mayor and Todd responsible for doing grants this time, why you not getting grants? Believe me, Richard Menville looks for every grant under the sun, because he gets a percentage of what he gets in the grant. So don't ever say that, it's the most ridiculous statement I hear in this town. Richard Menville applies for every grant possible under the sun for the town of Church Point. The mayor doesn't even have to lift a finger, okay? Oh, he does stay in touch with Richard, he calls him all the time to see what's going on, but he is not responsible for grants. Richard Menville is, and he watches like a hawk, and he's very good at his job, and he gets, on $100,000, he probably gets 30,000 to administer it. So he's up to date on his grants, trust me on that. Tim Mader will tell you that.
So Mr. Richard, okay, so this property is in my district.
Sorry.
yes, sir.
And,
It's your role.
so so the owners of the property have been notified?
We sent this original letter. Now we're gonna ask them to come up in front of the council.
Okay, and actually, and on that note, shouldn't we,
Normally,
hold your thought. Shouldn't we have some folks appearing before us tonight?
He just.
From last-
Well,
Just
here's the
okay.
problem. You got 30 days, but if it's, you know, 29 or 20 days, I don't like to cross that threshold saying, we gave you 28 days, you can show up. Well, you gotta give them 30. So, if somebody's got work sit out 30 days prior to this, then he has another chance to come in, which is the next meeting. So I'd rather do 60 days, or 59 days than 29, because you're a day short.
So, but I just like to know why we were talking about this right now. If we can't, we have to listen to what the landowners, you know,
Well,
have to say.
well, I'll tell you why, because it's my fault. Mr. Cooney was under the assumption these letters were sent out all of them within 30 days. That's why, Mr. Cooney, right?
yes, I was under an
Yeah.
assumption it was sent out.
So,
So this is
His,
too soon.
his recognition of these documents is, doesn't fall on deaf ears to me because it's, you would say the same thing if they were in front of them anyway.
Let me give y'all an example, and I think Brad can vouch for this from the other towns that we've worked in. First thing you're gonna have is money, just like Brad was talking about. Once we condemn these things, a good percentage of them will be taken care of by the owners, because they don't wanna even take a chance of a lien on their property. Once you put a little squeeze on them, I guess, it might not be a politically correct word.
Yeah.
They're gonna take the garage that we had, they tore it down, just with, one little nudge, they tore it down. Let's use the other example right here that I have on, for the Gidries, 502 POW. I think she's living in Lake Charles, that's the old potato kill, maybe,
Right.
whatever y'all
I
call
talked
it.
to her, I did talk to her.
I went an extra mile and got a quote for her, that's $7,500 to tear that building down. The big problems over there is what's in that building. When I brought the demo guy in that building, there's a lot of stuff in that building that people would love to have. Old trucks, old motors, old this, old three-wheelers. So the deal was $7,500, and she would get rid, she or her husband, whoever owns all this stuff, would move it out and get rid of it. Now, he, when I say he, JTD Services is the quote that I got, and the lowest quote at least. If that's not out, his price would go up. Although, he did say, I'll probably make money on them trucks, them 18 wheels. Something about state law that once a vehicle is abandoned, it's old, it doesn't need a clear title.
That's right.
Brad, you might know more about that than I do.
The problem with that property, Mr. is if the town, she doesn't tear it down, we have to follow the property. That was a potato field one time. That property will not pass a phase one, it puts liability on the town from an environmental standpoint. So I think Ms. Don, I talked to her, and she said she's gonna take care of it, so
Good.
that's fine. I'd like to kind of back off and moving ahead with that formally, but she said she's gonna take care of it.
Okay.
That was presented to us last month. which you're
Yes,
talking about.
right, that's, I'm
And the
talking about
only
that.
one that I'm reading right here that has a date that we could do something on is this one that's dated 4/10, the Borough Street property. Everything else was May 15th, so it's not.
Now, the Baru property, that lady, I spoke, that's the one with the cars, right?
Yes.
She has moved all the cars except one, and that car is supposed to be moved any day once the mechanic shop she's dealing with can accept it. So that will be cleared up. I've been communicating. Yes, she has been compliant, I got that as one of my notes. So I think another couple of weeks, you're gonna see that other car gone.
I just thought of something, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, Councilman.
It's just in the past, it's been a continuous situation, get rid of one, pick up another. So,
I think we have her attention.
You talking about the teacher? That's the teacher you was talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, she removing all the cars and she got them covered. She said she gonna get them all the way.
Right.
That's my sister.
Right,
It's gonna be, taking care of all of that.
yeah, I've been communicating with her and she's seen what
Everything will be
she's.
taken care of.
And that's the idea of this, let the people know
Right.
that we're getting,
But all the others.
In situations where a homeowner either is like totally apathetic, doesn't really care what happens, maybe they've moved away and it's been in the family, whatever, it's not worth very much, and if the town ends up having to demolish the property, could the town demolish the property and at whatever cost to the town for demolishing it, could we turn around and have maybe a public auction of the property? And at least try the city, allow
that
the
takes
city
a
to get.
long process,
Is
Brad
it?
can explain that.
Really?
He said wrong.
I was just wondering some way of at least recouping
You
the money
can,
that's
but
used for the demolish.
I can tell you this, it's very good question, Pete, but, very few people know this, but the housing authorities everywhere in Louisiana, there's a law which says they are allowed to give money to the community they're in to take down blight properties, okay? So if anybody knows about the housing authority, you may wanna bring it up to them and ask them about it, because God forbid they won't speak to me, and I'm their contracting attorney, so maybe y'all can, I don't know. Good luck with that. But it's a blighted property law. very clear, says, housing authorities can give money to the community or pay for it themselves for blighted property. Would you, Mr. Cooper, designate as that? But believe you me, whoever knows them, I'll pass them my best wishes on you to talk to them. But that is a law, and somebody want to go to their next meeting, because they don't invite me to the meetings, so, and that's fine. But you may want to bring it up there. I think that's better looking, I will. Let's not pass it along to the public.
Mr. Jean,
Yes,
St.
sir.
Martin Parish has an identical thing going on right now that you're speaking about, where they're auctioning off some properties.
Yes, sir.
That through legal, reasoning, court and everything else, they can auction the property off. So
And
there
we're
is a
looking at different
process to it,
parish laws or
but it's a
whatever.
long
But
process.
you know what, to Brad's,
State law is 18 months.
18 months state law. To Brad's point, Mayor, is it possible for next month's meeting, could we get a representative from housing to speak to the council about the possibility of maybe tapping into some federal housing funds to assist the town in demolishing some of these properties? I mean, it's part of the partnership working together, so I don't see why that would be an issue.
And I would highly recommend on the record, goes to Mr. Malbrook, because they keep Mr. Andrews, but won't pay attention to it. But he works Mr. King, they will. They work with Mr. King.
Okay. Can we do that? Can we?
You'll see on my report where I highlighted blighting the community.
Correct, correct.
And that's part of the reason why we're doing this.
So can we moving forward, can we go ahead and send a certified letter to requesting a representative from the housing board to come and speak to us at the next meeting?
I am right.
Come on, Ms. Rose.
Well, I don't want, I
Don't even go
didn't want to, I didn't want to, catch you off guard, but I think it's only fair that we give them
I don't
ample
wanna-
time to respond.
Yeah, call off.
Okay.
But the idea is, could you relay that message? Could you relay that message for
No,
us?
just
And
send them a
I think,
certified
yeah,
letter.
I think it's best we send a
You know,
certified
you
letter.
deal with them,
So
because
It's
I
gonna
can't
take,
deal with them.
it may take more than a week
I
or
don't have the
two to
patience.
get there. Someone can explain to them that I'm right. Because first question you're gonna question is me. Who said that?
I don't have the patience.
No way. So, might take a little, maybe 2 months to get him here, but we'll get him here, okay?
You deal with
Get him here.
So certified letter?
I think sending a certified
Sure.
letters
Would be
out
the best thing
Sure.
possible.
and
Send
the
them an
30
email.
day and
Copy
have the
to
people
email.
show up here at the council.
Going back to what we're doing right
Listen to
now.
the
Right, that's right. Going back to
Process.
what we're doing now, let's get out the certified letters. Let's ask them to come to the council meeting and tell us why they're letting their property run down. Why we got at least 3 mobile homes in town that's burnt to the ground and nobody's doing nothing about it.
Now, with the certified letter, are we talking about to homeowners
To the homeowners.
or housing? I'm still on housing.
Both of them.
Oh, okay.
But housing,
But housing, can we,
authority,
the
yes.
letter for housing, can we specify, be very, very precise that we would like them to be present at the next meeting in order to share some information with us, so that we can better make decisions about this?
Sure.
Or-
Because you're doing a great job, but we
Sure.
just kind of like,
We gotta go a step above.
oh, right,
So then we'll
absolutely.
have to.
I would cite the law in your letter
Okay.
over there, or your email, because verifying with the independent source such as Louisiana Civil Code might work, okay?
You gonna
So
handle
that
that,
wording
Mr.
will
Brad?
be given to Tom.
Correct. Yeah,
Great.
Housing.
Do I need to go through these 7 or y'all got a handle on them through y'all's budget?
It's up to you, sir.
Okay.
It's up to the mayor.
Yeah, I'm gonna just glance through the pictures right now. I'm on 105 Isabel. Some of these are mostly tall grass. You can tell that the property just has not been maintained. The mobile home looks like it's been abandoned, although it's not in that bad a condition. I think we sent them a certified letter. You'll see them out there trimming trees and cutting grass.
Does someone live here? This,
Does not look like it. Does not look like it's kind of abandoned, but. The other one on 2267 Highway 35, this is another warehouse where it looks like they got some junk cars parked around it, stuff like that. That's
That's on Main Street right here.
Main Street directly,
On the side of
This is the old
a
one.
property maintenance issue as well as an ordinance issue.
Right, the backside of those old right there.
I'm assuming it would take a month to clean that up,
No,
to
but you
get it looking right.
oh, yeah. Aren't they utilizing this building mechanic, like, oh,
They play
some
in
guys
there
out of
sometimes,
Eunice?
I see 'em.
Yeah, I've spoken with them, that's down from my office. There's some guys from Eunice that occupy,
They'll clean it up.
okay.
123 Vista Drive, this house is completely gone. No inside walls, just caving in on itself. You see that picture? Completely
Oh,
gone.
yeah, that's on my,
215 South College, Coolidge, rather. This is another house that, to me, the yard needs a lot of maintenance, a lot of tall grass.
That's a shell, yeah, it's a shell.
Just needs work done on it.
Mr. Richard, I'm sorry, sir, which one are
I'm
you
sorry,
reviewing now?
215 South Coolidge.
Gotcha.
You see the pictures. Mostly yard maintenance. The house does not look in that bad a condition.
And that's a grass problem.
Just a grass problem.
So that's a nuisance.
Yes.
More of a nuisance then, okay.
we don't have that.
248 Baruch, we kind of spoke about that one. She's moving her cars. She's been calling me probably every 3 or 4 days. Because she works late in the afternoon and she didn't want to have to lose a day's work to come in. The other one is 121 Main Street. This one here, I went and visited with the gentleman over there. That's the one with the,
That's last month.
Yeah,
last one.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. I don't have.
That's hard, no hard to move it.
I gave them a list of
Should give them last month.
Right,
things that they need to do in
he
a,
was here last month. I was
yes.
here.
Church Point Community Development has a little money in the bank that they're willing to help rebuild the front of the building. Really like their idea, even down to painting a horse and buggy scene on it.
And where is this? This is great. Where is
This is
this?
over, this is.
Right, it's on the
The
main
guy
road.
is here, yes, yes.
121
Yes.
Main. And they're also gonna address the outside, when you look at that picture, the outside looks like it's
Slow
caving
down,
in.
right.
Well, what happened, a car backed up into it from the inside and bowed that wall, broke probably 7 or 8 studs, that's caved it outside, so they'll rebuild that wall. Gave them some liens on some windows they can pick up probably for next to nothing to replace the windows. So I gave them a, kind of an itemized list of priority, which the first thing is tear down the rear of the building, where you see all that caving in. They're willing to get that tore down maybe as quick as next weekend and start working on the building. So that's where that's at. The building, when you go on the inside, structurally, old center match on the walls is structurally sound on the inside. Just the outside got away from them for
He
years.
did come get his
No
permit.
maintenance.
He did come get his permit.
He did come get his permit. So anyhow, I think that one's being handled. Just by visiting with him and talking to him. Other than that, I was trying to rush through it because I knew last time we took a lot of time.
I have one more quick question, not to keep us in here any longer, but, okay, so we've been utilizing your services, Mr. Richard, for about how long now?
So, you got me about 3 months now.
3 months is what I had, when I
3
was
months, about.
thinking, yeah.
And you're doing great with the detailed reports. In your opinion, are we making, and it may be a little bit too early now, but are we making significant headway with getting some of these properties?
We
do
made
you
some
think?
headway on 3 or 4 of them. We do have some property disputes, like the one by the school.
Yes, sir.
The guy's swearing up and down he doesn't own that property. The research Todd has, he does own it, so we.
Where's this?
I'm not sure.
Oh,
Oh,
wait, I got it right
I
here.
got a blank.
Huh?
I'm drawing a blank.
He said-
Oh, yeah, wait a minute. It's by the school.
What's the name of the street? What's the name of the street?
Take a left.
The first
It's
street?
an alley. What is the name of that alley? Huh?
Hicks Alley.
Hicks Alley. Thank you.
Hicks Alley. Oh, Hicks Alley, okay.
Yeah,
Hicks Alley,
that
okay.
trailer that burnt,
Yes, yeah.
might be in
Oh,
your
which-
district, I'm
yeah.
not sure.
Yeah, it is my district, yeah.
But he swears up and down he doesn't own it.
Lloyd
So-
Johnson.
Who?
Sir?
Lloyd Johnson.
Lord Johnston?
Was that the guy who lived there one time? Cause he sends
The guy that we
he
spoke
since left.
to is out of Lafayette. I'll find it here in a second. Hicks Drive. It's, C&B Investments out of Lafayette.
We don't have that one. That was
And,
last
yeah, that was last month.
Okay.
And when we sent him a letter, he said he did not own that. So Todd and I are supposed to get with the courthouse. I went back this afternoon and looked at it, and it's like, should be really easy to spot to this.
And Mr. Richard, the letter was sent to this
To
finance
this-
company or whatever?
Yes,
or-
to the CNB Investment Company on 707 Cedar Chest Court, Lafayette.
Right, because I remember speaking with the guy, or a guy who was living there, and he told me he was the owner. But then there was someone who lived there before that.
Yeah,
So,
what happened was, it was purchased, but it was, nothing was put in writing.
yeah, there was
He
like,
paid the man so much money, but
Yeah.
the owner died.
okay, before the proper, whatever could have taken.
Guess what?
So it's
He
not
didn't buy the
succession.
property.
That's kind of like what it
Yeah, I know
sounded
what you
like,
mean.
yeah.
But
Probably
he's telling you, he paid for it.
That's why I don't know.
More than likely,
Money to him, though.
the other trailer homes that are burned in town are the same thing. The people are renting the property, the trailer house burnt, and then they just abandoned the burnt trailer. That could be what's going on there.
Wow.
We'll have to get, because I think, Brad, that the owner of the property is responsible for this.
Oh, no question about it.
No question about it. So,
No, but they air.
The heirs.
Yeah, but
there's a
I'm gonna
state
check
for
it,
it.
that's my family's. Okay.
That's
I'm
his family.
gonna check into it, right?
And we don't know, actually, the CMB, we don't know who that is, or the father, who's that name.
so we're gonna follow up on that one.
We will.
This could end up being a lot.
So your answer,
More than we bargained for.
so your answer to your question is, it takes, it's progress, but I'm telling you how long we've been in
Well, I was
Doosan.
about to say, don't you agree that the true mark of progress can be determined for a year and a half
Oh,
probably,
yeah, 4 or
because.
5 years. The
And
mayor
that's
of
just on the first
Doosan
ones, but you gotta put it in motion to
to get
get
it.
it
So
done.
I
You
think
gotta
in
get it done.
comparison to other towns, we still, we
Well,
in
the
the
little
same.
community of Doosan, well, I was at a council meeting the other night for the same type of thing. And before the council meeting, the mayor said, "Could you have any idea how many we demoed in this town since you've been working?" I said, "Mayor, I don't know, but I can find out." He said, "No," he said, "We did 24 so far."
And how
That's
long?
gone.
I represent
And
this,
how
I didn't
long,
even know that.
how long of a period of time?
24.
And how
Now,
long-
have we put any liens on properties, Brad?
I haven't put one on any properties.
One?
One.
And
24 and how,
I've sent,
how
I'm gonna send a lot of
About
letters.
4 years.
Yeah.
4
Oh, we
years,
sent a lot of
24,
letters, man.
so that's that's about four properties a year.
Yes.
You have to tear down
That's
something.
not
But
bad.
if I'd have took a picture of Doosan
Okay, you just.
Oh,
4 or
man.
5 years ago
Oh,
versus
my God, it's
today,
bad.
Yeah.
you'd see a lot of change.
Yeah, it's
A
good
lot of
now.
change. So, but it, yeah, the wheels
Yeah,
turn, but
change,
slow.
change is happening, that's
Have
good.
some kind of monetary
Change isn't always fast, but it's good.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bishop, appreciate it.
Y'all.
Thank you. Okay, moving on. Our next item is a liquor license exemption request for our Mother of Mercy Church Bazaar for October the 6th, 7th, and 8th of 2017. Do I have a motion?
Mayor, since, yeah, I'll sponsor that agenda item. Yeah, so there, our Mother of Mercy Catholic Church Annual Bazaar will be, as the mayor read, on October 6th, 7th, and 8th this year. And the church is requesting a license exemption for liquor, excuse me. So I move that we grant the liquor license exemption for Mother of Mercy Church for its bazaar on October 6th, 7th, and 8th.
I'll second.
Any more discussion? Comments? Discussion, comments, or questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next item, liquor license exemption granted to Church Point Volunteer Fire Department for June the 3rd request. Date changed to August the 5th, 2017. As you probably know, the car show that was supposed to be having was canceled, postponed, and they are asking for the 5th of August,
Which is on the what, Saturday?
a Saturday.
They just changed the date.
It's just changing the date.
Changing the date. We already approved.
Okay.
Make that again.
So we have to go around and change the date, okay, make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any more discussion or questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next item, appoint Church Point News as the official journal.
I can go with the point, the first one, you know, official journal for the town.
I'll second.
Any discussion or comments?
I have a comment. I'd like to recognize this lady here, if you would stand, ma'am.
Miss Carolyn?
Miss Carolyn. And I don't think there are very many local activities that occur where we don't see you. And I can attest to the fact that I've seen you, I think it was at Church Point Elementary's program, and you were sick. And I say that respectfully, but you're like, don't even touch me. And you covered it, you were very professional, and I think you're an asset to the local newspaper.
Second that, Miss Carolyn, thank you.
Was that another motion?
No.
Just a dissertation.
It's just, no, Miss Carolyn, she does a lot of,
Yes.
No, he made a motion
he
and
made
a
a
second.
motion and
And a
a
second.
second. Yeah.
Right, we need a vote, yeah.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Okay, next item, comments from the mayor. First of all, I have a few announcements. If some of you did not attend the Memorial Day program, you missed something unique. After watching a number of memorial programs on TV, I will say this, I think ours was the best. So congratulations to Mr. Lee Dangle, American Legion, VFW, and also our veteran soldiers that attended. We have one in the audience right now.
Mr. Youssef?
And I was very proud to see this, to be honest with you. Very, very happy. I thought it was very, very good. And you people that missed it, make sure you attend next year. It was very, very well presented. Okay, second announcement, summer rec baseball and softball. The regular season is about ending. Thanks to the volunteers, the coaches, the kids, the parents, our park director, and of course our assistant work over there, Mr. Tyrone. The street department, the water department, the sewer department have been doing a very good job. Our police department also have been doing a very good job, continuing to do good work. And the last thing I want to mention is the fact that District G meeting for council will be June the 8th, Thursday, June the 8th, in Crowley. It'll be at 6 o'clock. If you're interested in attending, please give me your name because I have to send a roster or names.
Mayor, that's June.
Thursday, June 8th.
This Thursday.
Oh, where's the be held?
Right Cecilville. That's on Mill Road. On Mill Street. Okay?
Thank you, Mayor.
All right, John the Chief, Assistant Chief, you have anything? Okay. Mr. Malbrook?
No comments, other than thank everyone for coming out. I know the weather's a little bit nasty tonight, but we're here to serve you all, so thank you all for coming out. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Joy?
I too want to thank you all for coming out. I also want to wish all the fathers in the audience happy Father's Day. That's coming up. I want to let y'all know that there's a lot of progress going on with the gym at the elementary. Hopefully that's going to be open and ready to go in not too long. I also want to recognize the community development projects that are going on in our town. I've gotten so many wonderful responses and things that have been told to me about how they're definitely being noticed, and we definitely want to thank them for that. And again, thank you all for coming out.
Mr. Brad? And
Before you ask me, I just want to get the other one back. You know what I'm talking about.
thanks for coming. I've been reading this resolution, granting the authority of the mayor to sign, and I'm all about grants. And Gene brought up a comment about our engineer doing the engineering, and I'm reading on here, it says, be it further resolved, the mayor, Russell Scully, is hereby authorized to negotiate and sign a contract with Morgan, Godot, and Associates to assist with the application preparation, and if the application is funded, provide the professional engineering services. I guess we should have read this a little bit
I
better.
know, right? No, yeah. Because
So
didn't
wait,
it say it was
changing?
Minfield?
Well, Minville does, but the engineering is,
Could
this is
we,
listed as Morgan, Godot, and Associates.
could we make an amendment to that resolution, somehow allowing some council input in terms of who we utilize? Is that your issue, Councilman?
Well, we passed the resolution, I was just asking, I guess I'm asking like why we're using them and not.
Okay, on March the 21st, we met with Richard Minville, Jonas Harrington, representing Later Engineering, Ms. Carolyn Martin, policy president, Todd Knott, the president, discussed the grant that we will receive, which is basically about $430,000. Mr. Mader was not here, okay? The sewer rehab was the only thing that met the grant issues. Jonas Harrington was present for Mr. Baker. And in that meeting, he was asked to come up with a project. Well, we could use the grant for as for the project. Approximately a month later, Mr. Minville sent an email about the project asking Jonas for the plans. Nothing, and his response was nothing to meet the criteria. Didn't have the grant, was not, in other words, simply saying the deadline, and he wouldn't apply for the grant. So I contacted Mr. Minville about the rehab, this was for a sewer grant. I contacted Mr. Minville, and I asked him, I said, Mr. Minville, we need a grant to repair our sewer. And Mr. Minville said, I will go ahead and do it, but you also need an engineer. Since Mr. Jonas Harrington said, he didn't have the reason to do it, we contacted Morgan Goodall. And the reason Morgan Goodall was contacted was the fact that Mr. Goodall knows our sewer system. He was a former engineer. Okay, so I contacted him. And Mr. William Gerald, who represents Morgan Goodall, came and sat with us and talked with us about the grant. And he said Mr. Minville would sit in and write it up and so forth, and he would go in with him and provide the services. So that's why we went with Mr. Morgan Goodall. Now, people, this is free money. This $425,000 is free money, and we need this for our sewer system. Now, what do? We just say no. Well, this is why we went with Morgan Goodall.
And the deadline, I think, is July 5th.
July what?
He needs to go in July.
I'll be the first to tell you, they're great people. I've done work with them. They are exceptional people. I hadn't read through the whole thing because I'm all about grants. But you asked the question if he was involved, and he wasn't. That's all I was questioning.
That's a good point, Councilman.
This team is a shock to me. Mr. Henfield had advised that the sewer rehab would not get well. We even sent a plan for a possible sewer plant expansion to use grant money to expand your sewer plant, get it out of the floodplain. Mr. Henfield told us that would not happen. Why wouldn't we be interested? We've done 2 of these already for Church Point in the last 8 years. And I want to explain too that the notice in that resolution that you're committing to pay for the engineering administration out of local funds, not grant funds, and that's gonna cost you on the order of about $100,000. So it's not all grant.
Yikes.
So that's not different than what you did before. You
So
need to consider
that's the
that.
exact same thing what we did before.
You did it before, but the statement was made a minute ago that it
That
was
is
all
free,
grant.
free money.
It's not all grant. And again, there's no reason in the world why Mater Engineer we wouldn't be interested in this. Why we were suddenly thrown out of the picture, I can't tell you. We are interested in it. This was possibly just a mistake.
So, Mr. Mayor, are you, sir, if I may ask, are you officially requesting that your firm is considered for this project?
I'm asking that you're your engineer and that we do the project. We've done two like it before. I appreciate, respect Mr. Goodo's experience going back 15, 20 years, but we did the last two. I don't think anybody knows your sewer system as an engineering firm, but
I think you're making some legitimate,
Absolutely, and I did.
Yeah,
It's not,
you
that's
forced
bad
me to
call
do it.
because
absolutely,
I
yeah.
didn't read
I
through
think,
it.
yeah, I would
Just
agree.
assuming that it would have been,
one last thing I'd like to say is that it wasn't Mater Engineering's call, but to apply for. That's what you hire Mr. Linville for, to tell you what's competitive. There are lots of things you can apply for and spend money applying for, but if they have little chance of success, why spend money?
But if you recall, Mr. Mayor, when we were reviewing it, I did ask, is Mr. Mayor, do you recall me asking,
Yeah.
or were you going to
That's
be?
one.
That's when we were informed that you were not, and that's when, because I was under the assumption, kind of like what Councilwoman just said, and that is, when it comes to grants, we thought you were our grant
But
guy.
I understood your question to be who was doing the grant application, and that is Mr. Linville.
Right.
And it's
But you
always
do our
been that way.
engineering.
But you're asking that you, to be considered for,
Asking you have to change your way of doing business. The last two times you succeeded in this very application, Linville was your grant administrator, Mater Engineering was your engineer. Why the change, I don't understand.
why weren't they considered?
I have an email right here from, it's done from Richard Linville. It says, Jonas, I am following up on our March the 21st meeting with Mayor Stelly and Todd regarding the selection of a project and the filling of an application under the FY 218-219 LCBDG program. Can you please give me an update on the project you feel is most needed and suitable that meets the criteria of this program? And of course, nothing was sent back.
was that an email to,
And there is a deadline.
to you, was that an email to Mr. Mayor? I'm
It
confused.
was an email from Mr. Linville to us.
To you.
And we spoke with Mr. Linville and told him that we have done twice before successful, and we even suggested an upgrade to your existing treatment. And Mr. Linville told us that those weren't projects. That's where we ended our involvement. If it went further, I don't know why it wouldn't come back to us if Mr. Linville was saying now it is a good project. Because he said it wasn't a good project before.
And were the details of your conversation with Mr. Menville, was that shared with the mayor? Kind of like you guys talked and you came, your understanding and.
Jonas Harrington with our firm was the one meeting and discussing this with the mayor, Todd, and Mr. Linville.
Gotcha. And he was representing your
I
firm?
think the communication with lines were wide open all the time. Again, it's a total shock to me tonight that this came up, given everything that I'm explaining, I understand.
And this is your first time hearing this?
First time I read it was tonight.
Jonas did inform you?
Jonas informed me of
Always
everything I'm telling you is from Mr.
Just,
Harrington.
Mr. Mando, respectfully, sir?
Mr.
Mr. Mayor, I apologize, sir. Trust me when I say I am sorry. It's been a long day. I apologize. But more importantly, Mr. Richard, clerk is saying that he never spoke, but you never spoke to him, but he's saying that his representative was Mr. Jonas, correct?
At the meeting,
And so,
Ms. Carolyn Hart was at our meeting with Mr. Richard Linville and the mayor and all for this particular grant. It was in the church one meeting. And Ms. Carroll, who was a witness, who was there that day. It was us, me, the mayor, and Mr. Jones Harris at that meeting, discussion about this plan. And everything that was laid out, and the sewer was the only thing applicable for that particular grant. So that's what was discussed with the grant, and we think through sewer. So, I guess the mayor said right here, Jones came up and presented something, I forgot what it was, about putting more, at that particular meeting, I think he brought up something about putting more force mains. That was his first suggestion.
Jones.
Jones, exactly. And he said, no, probably wouldn't work because you're having a hard time accepting the water that's coming into the sewer plant already. And then he got back later and called me back and spoke with the mayor and then said, come on, rehabilitation would not work. Basically what we did before, this previous grant that we had would not work.
That was Mr. Mendoza.
It was Jones's money.
That's
I'm
Mr.
just-
Mendoza's call.
But once again, I'm not speaking with Rich, I'm speaking to Jones. Now, Jones came back and I said, well, okay, what would be the criteria to meet for this particular grant? And relating back to the mayor, our conversations with Jones, what would, and there's a timeline to meet. So, as the mayor read right here, Jones, I called Jones, what do you have? And this email reflects this right here, Jones. So Jones came back. I'm not blaming Jones.
No,
No,
not
no,
that,
no, no.
but I wonder why Mr. Nader wasn't called.
But the thing is, why Mr. Smith didn't come to the meeting, as I said, about this particular grant? You sent Jones, which Jones represents his company.
Sure.
So, again, he contacts Jones. Jones did come and said, I have this proposal, but it wasn't for the grant, it was to borrow money. We could borrow money. We could purchase property. We would have to borrow the money. This has nothing to do with the grant. The grant was not applicable to what he presented. I still have the role to tell you. So when I looked at the mayor said, I really would want us to have to borrow money in case we need it for another time. He said, I'd like to be able to call Mr. Richard and see. So he called Richard. I understand what Tim's saying, what might have spoke between him and Richard. I'm not involved with this. Richard's the grant writer, like Brad said all the time. Richard and the mayor's discussion with Richard about wanting to get this grant, that's the mayor's discussion. Richard, I got to get the names. So, and then the mayor said, well, I want to apply for the grant. And the time, we only have a few weeks left.
Just, if I can, because we did this twice before, we had two sewer rehabilitation grants before. This one came up as a possibility for this program, and it was dispensed by Mr. Mendoza. If it was brought back into the picture by Mr. Mendoza, why wouldn't it?
I mean,
And it's
I'm not
Mr. Mendoza's call.
disagreeing, I'm just simply your
Mr.
time.
Menville is your grant administrator who knows best what's competitive and what's not. We're your engineer, not your grant administrator.
But one thing to be clear, Jonas, apparently Jonas, what was said by Jonas, led Mr. Menville to believe that they were not applying.
And that was my next question. Were you aware, Mr. Manville, of the conversation that your representative had?
Absolutely, every step of the way. And the reason why Mr. Harrington Jonas talked about other projects is because Mr. Menville told us that the rehab project wasn't competitive. So Menville is asking us, look for more possibilities. We look for more possibilities. Mr. Menville rejected all of them as being competitive. It's not that they're not going to qualify for a grant, it's how well do they compete. This project, in Mr. Menville's own words, is not going to compete. I'm not really as much so concerned about that as I am about the process. Sure. Because I think if Mr. Menville is right, and we don't disagree that this application probably won't compete.
But once again, tonight we have, not tonight, in the last week, 2 weeks, we had Mr. Linville to give us this resolution and to say it would. And we had, as the mayor said, we got Mr. William Gerald come in and follow me on this and see this would compete for. Once again, it goes back to the mayor said, this is for a grant to get the money, and the deadline needs to be met.
So when is the deadline?
July.
So after tonight, we'll send this off to be able to compete for the,
It's not until July.
July.
There's a deadline to submit what we call project survey. That has to be submitted long before the application is. So where you are now in the process is you had to select a project and had to come up with an explanation of why your project is so severe that it warrants the grant. That's the deadline. That's the
I don't know. It sounds right now, Mr. Mayor. I don't see if we have very substantial evidence to suggest that the mayor had any ill intentions of not selecting you versus the other. I don't know, but it just seems like maybe he was operating under kind of the pressure of a deadline, and you had a representative, and I'm wondering if your representative communicated, you know, what the discussions were. It seems like that is maybe where the breakdown occurred.
Representative Jonas
Yes, sir.
actually provides the same service that Mr. Linville does for Green, Crowley, Estonwood, Morse, Hermitage, Capital. We do the grant administration and the engineering portion. We're very familiar with the program. It happens that Mr. Linville has been doing it for many years, and that's fine. We do engineering for other projects. Capital is one that we've done where Mr. Linville is also involved. There's no doubt in my mind that Mr. Harrington advised Mr. Linville the engineering aspects of the project. Mr. Linville is the one that expressed the opinion that that project, the rehab project, was not competitive. And that he wanted us to find a competitive project. We look for other competitive projects. Mr. Linville goes back to the rehab project, and now all of a sudden we're not involved. That's hard for me to understand. Yeah, I wasn't at that meeting. That was a public hearing that's mandated by the process. It's Mr. Bruto in here, Mr. Jeremy. I don't know why that counts against me, because I personally wasn't at the meeting. I had a representative who was very deeply familiar with the program and the process. So I don't want to create controversy. If it's town and church point's intention to use other engineers, there's nothing I can do about that. I'll support the town in any direction it takes. I would just say.
You make a good point. We've used you, we've worked with you for years.
Yeah,
And so,
community,
you know.
a long time, yes, and I've supported the community in a way, I've done lots of pro bono work.
Absolutely.
And I just want to be sure that it's understood that we weren't involved in a project that involves engineering, and we are your town engineer.
Mayor, are we dead set on utilizing this individual who's listed in the resolution? Is there some wiggle room or some grounds where we could possibly compromise, reconsider, and show some level of loyalty to clearly an individual who has been very diligent in working with us over the years? And I'd like to be able to honor that working partnership we've had over the years.
I appreciate that, Mr. Marbury. I'm going to say this, the deadline that Todd mentioned is of the most importance. And I don't think you want to make a switch and miss the deadline. So, said what I think I need to say, but I don't want to interfere with the possibility that Church Point could get a grant. So I wouldn't change anything.
So are you now saying that you would rather not be considered? Because I thought that was your statement initially.
I would like to be considered in the engineering aspect,
Gotcha.
because there's two parts to it. It's
Gotcha.
the engineer assisting with the grant application, and if funded, doing the engineering. I would like you to reconsider that at some point and allow us the opportunity to do the engineering if you're funded.
Is that, can we possibly consider, yeah,
Well, the thing
when we get to that time?
It's gotta be approved first, right?
What
It's gotta be
The grant has to be
The grant has to be
approved.
approved, we have the engineer that's applying, here's the thing, in fairness, the engineer that's applying for this grant is the one that's giving us the grant. Is that correct, Tim?
Enfield is getting us the grant.
Manville is actually applying for and getting the grant. And it's my understanding that Manville sort of suggested this other guy versus you. Is that pretty much what we're looking
I
at?
don't know whether he suggested it.
Well, not suggested, but,
No,
but
the thing is, I think am I wrong, it's a people, it takes the engineer to apply for the grant also.
Engineer has to do the scope and the cost estimate.
and is it too late for you to get involved in that aspect of it?
I think it's too late for us to do that, but it's not too late for us to be involved in the engineering work. If we fund it, that comes a lot later.
Sure.
I have a problem with the way the resolution's worded because it authorizes the mayor to go ahead and engage engineering services if you want.
With this resolution, in order to go for the grant, the resolution is to go as it is.
Well, I would suggest you let it go as is so you don't miss the deadline, but I would ask you to consider next month.
Can we do an amendment to that
Well,
resolution?
pass another resolution.
Pass
Another resolution too.
You can
The
pass
resolution is
another
submitted to the
resolution.
council. Here's what it is, but Mr. Mayor's not disagreeing with the contents, with the wording Martin Goodall in the resolution. What he's saying is, if it gets funded and approved, the grant does, and he'd like to be involved in engineering services thereafter. Correct, Mr. Mayor?
I'd like you to next month, open up the engineering services. I would like you not to wait for the grant because that could be a year or two from now. Who knows what we could do.
And Brad, is that possible legally? Because as you said,
Oh, we
a
just-
resolution is basically the interest of the wish of the council.
Mr. Mayor knows
So-
10 times what I know about those type of things,
Sure.
but
Could we
it's a
add that?
Could
two-step
we add that next
process.
month? Can we come on next month? Can we, I'll say this and then I'll try and be quiet. I'm big on loyalty. You've worked with us for several years, and I think that this project, like so many in the past, you should be allowed at least a fair opportunity to continue working with us unless there is some legitimate reason to suggest you would no longer be able to work with us. I mean, and I don't know of any issues in the past. As you said, you've done pro bono work for us, certainly since I've been a councilman. And so because of that, I personally want to honor your partnership that you have had with the town for years.
Let me add this, if we were doing the work involved with Mr. Linville now to apply, you would pay, you're gonna pay Mr. Goodall for it.
Correct.
That resolution says that. So if he does the work involved in applying, and then you select us later, people have been paid for what he did.
And have we ever worked with this guy? This
Yeah.
we worked with him
Yeah.
before?
He used to be our engineer before Mr.
For
Mayor
many
got on
years,
board.
for many years.
He was right.
Goodall is a very reputable firm.
Yeah,
He would do well to be working with.
So why don't we consider this? As he said, this other engineering firm, I forget the name, what is it? Goodall will have made a profit, right? Why not allow Mr. Mader's engineering to share some of the resources? Does that make sense?
But then once again, we have to get the grant.
Right, this is all based on whether,
We
if
just
we
need to
get the
open
grant,
up
yeah.
a line of communication regarding the engineering firms if we get it.
Correct.
But this
So,
is something that he's requesting, that we're being understood needs to be done is prior to getting the grant, so whenever we
Right.
get the grant, it will all be
To clarify, somebody should be interested, to clarify what
I
happened.
think that's a good idea too.
I think what clarify what happened with
Can we
Mr.
do-
Linville.
would the council be in favor of doing two things? First and foremost, speak with Mr. Minville, make sure that he's aware, and then for next month, we are prepared with an additional resolution allowing you a fair play in the game. Is that
That's fair.
fair? Good deal. Is that
Thank you
okay?
for that explanation, Mr. Mayor, and I agree with you. How long it would take for us to remember
Okay,
that.
good deal. So maybe you're good with that? Thank you, sir.
That's all I have my shopping done.
Councilman, it was you
Thank you.
reading
Thank
that
you.
resolution that brought
Thank
up
you,
this
Councilman.
discussion.
I would like to thank from the bottom of my heart, everybody that said prayers for me through my ordeal. It's looking good, starting to feel better, so just keep praying.
All right.
Thank everybody for coming, thank everybody for giving. VFW Memorial, and I just hope the rain stops. Make sure we pray for these people and all these terrorist attacks we've been having, all these people getting killed, and they hope that this won't happen over in the U.S. again. It doesn't happen before, but thank everybody for coming.
Okay? All right, next thing. Comments from the public? Marvin,
I'm Mr. Raymond.
able to do?
Yeah, hey, I want to get up here.
I just wanted to let you know, Shreveport Fire Department went through Caddo Parish Fire District 10. We went through our fire rating in 2016, and I got the results of that. I've notified all the members of the fire board because they met, and then I got the letter. So they'll meet 30 days from now, and they'll go over this, but we're going to keep our class 5, and that is very good for the fire department. The state insurance agencies made a lot of changes, making it harder for fire departments to keep that grade. We've been through a lot of classes throughout 15 and 16, getting prepared for all the changes, and we were literally told, no matter what rating you are, be prepared to lose 1. So we were prepared to be a 6, which is not as good as a 5, but to the hard work of the fire department, district board backing us up, and John Larson, the superintendent for the water department. We got together and we worked it out, and we kept our 5, and that is a very good thing for this area. Just want to let y'all know.
I'm just, what kind of time limit they got when a cop takes a break? I'll be in Attic tomorrow. I'll be in Attic.
Okay, Mr. Fontaine?
Well, I always like to come up and thank you all of the council and mayor for your support of the Rio Presbyterian over the past year now, and also the support of the community. And I also want to publicly thank our wonderful board of volunteers that have supported the Rio Presbyterian over the past year. And also, by the way, we also thank past board members as well, because Mr. Yusuf Bellard is here, who served for the board, and Mr. Glenn Fall, and I thank you for that. Very good. And also, I was happy we were talking about the rehabilitation of the properties. Mr. Lawley from Borky Motors and Main Street, I believe 111 Main Street, contacted me because he's interested in trying to get that building actually recognized as on the National Register of Historic Places. So that's kind of cool if he would continue making improvements and apply for that, which leads to my little show and tell here. And this is something that the current board, or do I take credit for, but it really is a tribute to the people, and really a memorial to the people of the 90s, because they're the ones who applied several years ago to have Review Presbyterian on the National Register of Historic Places. They succeed, I'm glad to hear you applaud, because they succeeded in doing so, at least a decade ago, and darn it, when you do something, people should let you know that we appreciate it. So this, bronze plaque is really a memorial to them, because they did the work, they got on the register, and the building ought to be promoted as such, so it's going to be mounted on the building.
Good job.
Yay.
Awesome.
Good job, Church Point.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is to adjourn the meeting.
Next meeting's on the 3rd or the 10th?
It'll be on the 3rd. That looks right. So July the 3rd.
I'll make that motion, John.
Why is he asking? I'm scared now.
Fourth.
That's the normal meeting.
Everybody gonna be gone the 3rd.
Right, and I think that's what Mr. Bellard was requesting, that we change the date, correct?
The state could declare the 3rd a holiday. Normally do stuff
It's
like
a
that in
holiday.
falls.
Yeah.
The 4th is Monday, Tuesday?
So we are,
So y'all are suggesting
We are
that, y'all are suggesting
I
that we
think-
reschedule the meeting?
I think we should,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's
make it on the 10th.
Doesn't matter to me.
Thank you, Ms. Bellard, thank you, Mr. Bellard.
Well, I can read that to adjourn, just might make a motion to change that date, please.
I move, based on Mr. Bellard and suggestion, I move that we move next month's city council meeting from July 3rd to
July 10th.
July 10th.
Yeah.
Do I have a second? Any more discussion? Question?
It's a famine.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
I wasn't sure how to.
Motion carried.
Well, in case you start celebrating the 3rd on the 4th on the 3rd.
They're gonna make, people are gonna make a long weekend.
I made a motion. Yeah.
Hold on, hold on, I have.
Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
May I think,
I have
has
a
anyone
question
signed
for the
up?
policeman.
Never mind.
Who made the motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
Gary?
And I second.
He seconded.
I second it and everything else.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries, meeting adjourned.
Steve-O.